Hey everyone, it's Alex again, and I am back with another 88th Academy Awards update video. Today I'm going to be giving you a preview of one of the most exciting categories in the Oscar race, because it involves a category that often features some of the biggest blockbusters of the year, and that is Best Visual Effects. The Academy recently released a press statement listing the 20 films that have been listed as the contenders for Best Visual Effects. Now, in the Best Visual Effects category, there aren't as many strict rules as there are for things like documentaries, foreign films, and animated films. Basically, in order for a film to be eligible, all the film has to do is follow the rules of the Best Picture category, in which the film must be played for 7 consecutive days in at least one theater in Los Angeles between January 1st and December 31st of any given year. And what happens for Best Visual Effects is that a volunteer committee made up of members from the visual effects branch will meet and come up with a list of films that they feel are most eligible for this category. And from those 20 films, the 20 are then whittled down to 10 semifinalists. And from those 10 semifinalists, 5 of them will become the official Oscar nominees for Best Visual Effects. What those 10 semifinalists will be, I don't know yet, but I'll be very excited to find out when those are announced. And I'm sure you will be too. So what are the films that are eligible for Best Visual Effects, you may ask? Well, today I am here to reveal them to you right now. And unlike my other videos where I read off the plot summaries of the eligible films, I'm not going to do that this time because, unlike the other categories, all the films here are films that you have probably seen in the theater or on TV or have at least heard of, either through advertisements or maybe in conversations with another person. So there's going to be no explanations from me here today. If you are curious about these films and you know nothing about them and want to find out more, then I suggest you go to websites like IMDb or Rotten Tomatoes. Those are easily the 2 most resourceful movie websites out there, and I go on them at least 5 times a day for both of them. The 20 contenders for Best Visual Effects in alphabetical order are Ant-Man, Avengers Age of Ultron, Bridge of Spies, Chappie, Everest, Ex Machina, Furious 7, The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2, In the Heart of the Sea, Jupiter Ascending, Jurassic World, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, The Revenant, Spectre, Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, Terminator Genesis, Tomorrowland, and The Walk. Now, out of these 20 films, the 5 I would like to see get nominated most, and I've had to think about these very carefully, are, and I'm going to list them off in alphabetical order, In the Heart of the Sea, Mad Max Fury Road, The Martian, Star Wars Episode 7 The Force Awakens, and Tomorrowland. Now, I haven't seen In the Heart of the Sea yet, but in the trailers that I've seen, the visuals just look absolutely stunning, especially with the giant whale that attacks the ship, which forms the basic plot point of the movie. And then Mad Max Fury Road, that movie was practical in everything, from the sets to the stunt work and to the visual effects, which looked good enough to be like state-of-the-art CGI effects. Some CGI could have been used in some spots, but whatever was used, those visual effects were breathtaking. The Martian, that is still my favorite movie of the year. The look of Mars feels absolutely real, and they shot most of the Mars scenes in real-life deserts here on Earth, and the space scenes, they look absolutely flawless. You cannot tell any green screen effects in this movie. I'm sure some were used in some scenes, but wherever they were used, they were done so well that you could not tell if it was green screen or not. Star Wars, no question that's going to be nominated because with the exception of Revenge of the Sith, all of the Star Wars films have been nominated for Best Visual Effects. All 3 films in the original trilogy won Best Visual Effects, and many people are thinking The Force Awakens will follow in the original trilogy's footsteps and win Best Visual Effects. And if that happens, I won't have any fault with it, because from the trailers, the movie looks incredible. And J.J. Abrams, who's directing The Force Awakens, he had vowed from the very beginning to be as practical and realistic as possible, and it certainly looks like he held up his end of the bargain there. Tomorrowland. Now that movie I feel has been quite underrated. It only had like a 48% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it was unfortunately a pretty bad bomb for Disney, like their worst bomb since The Lone Ranger, because the budget was at least like $150 million. I don't know how much it made total, but even if it made past $150 million, it couldn't make enough to cover not only the film budget, but also the advertising and marketing budgets. So, because usually movies have to make at least twice as much as their original budget in order to be considered successful at the box office. And Tomorrowland sadly wasn't able to do that. But one of the best things about Tomorrowland, in my opinion, were the visual effects. The titular place in the movie looks absolutely incredible. Like, this is the stuff out of like great young adult science fiction that you don't usually see. Like, this feels like it's from a sci-fi book written a long time ago, but could still be enjoyed by kids today. And I should mention that Tomorrowland is one of those movies that's not based on a sci-fi book. It's an original story, but it feels like it was adapted from a great children's / young adult sci-fi book. So those are my thoughts on what I think should be nominated for Best Visual Effects. I'm not going to predict a winner just yet, simply because I want to find out what the semi-finalists are, because it's only from the 10 semi-finalists that 5 nominees will be chosen. So 10 of these films in a few weeks are going to be considered ineligible for the Best Visual Effects nomination because they'll have been voted off by the members of the visual effects branch. Be sure to let me know in the comments section below what you think of the contenders for Best Visual Effects, what you think of my choices for Best Visual Effects. Let me know what your choices are for Best Visual Effects, what you'd like to see get nominated and what you'd like to see win. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.